I have an itchy ankle. Hello, everybody. Tiffany here. Welcome to my quilting life. If you are new to my channel, subscribe, like, share my videos, please. Anyway, today's Sunday, the 3rd of October. I think that's what I typed. I'm not sure. Whatever. Anyway, Sew Sunday, where I inspire you to sew on a Sunday. Because, you know, we all need one day a week to just sit and sew. Anyway, let's see who's here. I sit and sew all the time, but you guys, I mean, some of you got to sit and sew sometime. All right, we got Carissa, Diane, Stephanie here for the fun, Jacqueline from Michigan, Sylvia. It's Monday for Sylvia in Australia. We got Melina. Nita is here. Hi, Nita. Haven't seen you in a while. Kim is here. Linda, Judy, Joe, Teresa Louise, Angela. I don't remember if I even said that or not. We got Jim is here. Darlene. Long since we were together, right? We were all just hanging out just a little bit ago. Got Kylie here. Wet Tasmania, Australia. Wow. So it's tomorrow again for you. We got Shirley here. Maggie is here. Kathy is here. Mary is here. I think I said that. Beverly is here. Laura is here. Heather. Della. Where are we at? BP. I don't know how to say that. I will just say BP. I hate to murder people's names. I seriously struggle with that. And Scott does too sometimes. We got Irma is here. Valerie is here. That's a new name I haven't seen before. Welcome. Sandy from Michigan. Kathleen is here. Podunk Pretties is here. Another talking coming from the quilting. How funny. We got June here. Lucille is here. Nicole is here. First time chat. Welcome. Yeah, Elizabeth is here. Tiffany's been busy with house and job. I kind of figured, Nita. That's why I haven't been bugging you. Elizabeth. Let's see. Gisela is here from Sweden. MJ is here for a bit. Norma is here from Canada. Well, we got lots of countries here today. Mary is just finishing dinner, getting home from work to catch my live. We got Melinda here. Audrey's from Canada also. Welcome. We got Diane here. Thank you for the likes, and don't forget everybody to subscribe, like, and share these videos. We got Vivian, Lizette, Holly, Joy is here. Everyone's reminding everybody to hit that thumbs up. We got June from Oregon, so that's a new name there. There's like at least 7 Junes in total that come here, so now you're another one. So welcome. Other June is here. I'm telling you, there's a lot of Junes. Let's see. Deborah is here, first time from Atlanta, so I'm assuming Atlanta, but it's hot. All right, guys. So today, like I said last week, I was going to do a jelly roll sometime this week, but I just been super duper busy, like super busy. I'm trying to get myself on a schedule per doctor's orders, and my night schedule is not working very well, but I'm still waking super early. So I'm like keeping myself busy doing sewing in the morning or filming or something that has to do with sewing. And then the rest of the day is like, I'm trying not to nap, and I don't nap all the time. And then there's the times I can't nap at all because laying there just makes my head hurt. But all this new stuff that the doctor wants me to do has got me just bleh. I just am not in the mood, but I am in the mood because I love to do what I do. But I'm not like not in the mood. I'm just a little overwhelmed with what I'm doing, you know, because I have to keep up with YouTube, and then I'm trying to keep up with jobs, and I'm trying to keep up with getting the quilt show stuff done, and just so much stuff, you know. So I never got on this week to make a jelly roll, but I figured I'd just do it today because I didn't have any plans, and that's what I'm going to do today. So I have a jelly roll, which is not really rolled like a roll. This is more like a little flat thing, but it's a jelly roll's worth. And 2 yards of fabric. You guys know I always allocate myself a certain amount. And if I can't do it with that certain amount, then whatever. But I kind of have a general idea of what I want to make. And I'm just going to show you guys how I make it. And obviously, like always, I teach as I go. So even if it's something I'm just making up as I go, I show you guys. So that's pretty much what today is just I'm going to sew jelly roll, make something up as I go, and have fun with it because that's just what I do. So we're going to get to sewing in a second. And while I'm sewing, I'll tell you what I've been up to all week. Just seeing who else has came in. We got Sandra from Canada, first time also, welcome. We got BJ here. I'm not going to read all of them because they all look the same. We got Jeanette here. Linda is here. And Shelly is here. Those are the other ones. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open this the rest of the way up. This says 42 pieces. The person that sent it me said it should have all the pieces still here. So it was probably not what they wanted, you know, when they ordered it or got it. But sometimes people don't like things and then they send them to me. And I like everything. So I'm not very picky. So I'm just, these look really laid out weird. I'm just going to lay them all out, and I'm just going to take them all in sets of 2 and start sewing them together in sets of 2 to make it fun. And if you guys have questions or anything, you can ask Scott, and he will read them out to me when he can. He's also going to iron today so that I can get more done. I'll show him the first ironing though, because I don't think I've had him iron jelly roll strip sets before in full to make them super flat so that they cut nicer. So that will take 2 seconds to do when I get to it. But yeah, I am just going to speed along and start sewing these together in sets of 2, selvage to selvage on only one side. And I zoom along this. Some of you that are new to my channel and haven't watched a live stream, I literally sew as fast as you see on the live streams. As fast as you see on the videos, except for the fast forward part, I sew that fast regularly. So if you're new, don't freak out that everything starts shaking on the table because that's just what happens. So I'm just sewing a 1/4 inch seam all the way down, and I'm just going to continue on. Through every single piece, keeping them nice and straight. And I'm going to chain piece them through, but sooner or later I will snip some apart for Scott to start pressing because I know it'll take him a little bit longer to press than I sew. And I might run out of bobbin. Oh, I did. I ran out of bobbin at the end. Right when I said that. Right as I said it, I was out of bobbin. I rolled some new ones, but I wanted to use up what was left in here. I knew it would go quick too. That's kind of funny that it was right there at the end, literally. I do have to do a couple more stitches on it, but it was right at the end. Interesting. I love how that happens. All right, that's changed out. Let's get this sewn right here at the end. And now take the next 2 pieces and start sewing them through. I use a seam guide. A lot of you know that. My hand's holding it regular, but for anybody who wants to know how to sew this fast on any machine with jelly roll strips, thumb on the top, first finger in the middle, the rest of the hand underneath, so it's in between the first finger and the middle finger, grasping that second one, and my thumb just straightens this out as I go. And I try to keep it about right here. Everything slides through. I'm not pulling or tugging on anything. And then I use my other hand to keep the strip from like going up under the wrong way along my guide, which keeps me able to go super fast. So I just line it up as I go. So if you want to learn how to do that, it's not that hard. I just watch the strip. I kind of just tip my eyes from the needle to my fingers, needle to fingers, needle to fingers, so that I can make sure that the strip is not only aligned, but that I'm not like folding up underneath the needle area. Oh, that's actually a good idea. Like I said, you don't have to enter fancy quilts. Quilt shows are just to show quilts of all shapes, styles, and colors, and so on and so forth. They're not just for fancy quilts to be entered and be judged and win first, second, third place kind of thing. They're for all quilts. Someone might go in and say, oh, I like that coin quilt. I wonder how she made it. See, so that's a good idea. Coin quilts, if it's done with the JellyRoll strip way, with it's 2.5 by 4.5 inch pieces, and then they're just, sewn together. Those ones you can applique stuff on top. Like take a black fabric. If none of your other fabrics are black, take a black and make a little applique heart here or whatever. If it's a really dark print, it doesn't have to be black, but something that's super duper dark to go over it all. It is easy. I'm telling you guys, this is so easy. And then sometimes the strips were folded underneath me. I try to make sure that they're straight, but when they're coming off my lap, they don't always land straight. Yep. All right. Looks good. Don't all fall. And I will tell you guys this line real quick, in case you're curious, once this quilt is put together. It's called Hope by Rivers Bend Midwest Textiles Supplies. So it was a kit made by this Rivers Bend's company called Hope. So it's kind of like Jordan Fabrics, how they make their own kits as well. So they probably took a bunch of fabrics from the same line and put them together and made a JellyRoll strip. Jelly wants to know where you found that big roll of thread. Coats online. I haven't been able to find it since, and I'm running out. This is my last spool of white, and I order all different brands of threads. Don't get me wrong, I don't just use the same, but I go online, I want big spools. So if it's an off brand of some big spool, the only thread, and I answered this question in the group the other day, the only thread that I have that I cannot use, for some strange reason, this Juki will sew anything. It does not like signature thread. I don't know what it is. It does not like signature. And the brother kind of struggles with the signature thread too. It tangles really easily in there. So I don't know if it's the thread or what, but I just don't use it. I have some, but I don't use it. But it takes everything else. I can just, keeping the same tension the way it is, take any one of the threads in this drawer, any brand, like this one is Essential brand, like this one is Sewology. I could just switch out from thread to thread and I never have a problem. But for some reason, the signature, it just doesn't. It doesn't do it. I don't know what it is, but I use anything. The big spool, this one is Coats, though. The other ones I have, they're all sorts of brands from all over the internet, wherever I can find the cheapest cotton thread. Making a JellyRoll, not a JellyRoll race, though. I'm actually just making a quilt with the free cut. I don't know what it is, what it's going to be. I know what it's kind of going to look like. I see these things in my head. So you guys could see my envisions coming to life live on your screen all over the world. And if you're watching this as a replay, then it would be, Valerie's sister machine does also. Wonder why. I don't know. Maybe it's the way it's spun. Maybe the way signature is spun. I have no idea. I have it I could run it through the long arm, but I'm kind of scared to run it through the long arm too. If two of my regular domestic machines don't like it, I don't know, my long arm might not either. It's weird. I don't know. I'll have to try it someday and just screw with the tension on a practice piece, but I will definitely not load a client quilt and just randomly say, oh, I want to use signature thread today, you know, so. No, I wind my own. I try to wind some before I start live stream. So I did this time. I actually wound like 4 before starting live stream. I would just wind my own as much as I need for whatever project. Uh-oh, get out there. I'm going to cut some of these off now so that Scott can start pressing. I got to show him how real quick though, just to make sure that he keeps it perfectly straight. It's not that you don't know how to use an iron. He has his custom shirt on so that he can iron. Oops, that's that one. Iron Man shirt is on, iron is plugged in. All right, so I'm gonna take this over to Scott and show him real quick the easier way. Oh, he's got to put stuff in the iron. I'll give him a second. I don't want to put two browns next to each other. I'm trying to mix up the colors as much as possible. We'll save those two to mix. So we'll put these two, actually. I don't know how many of each of these colors there are. I'm just going to put them together. As long as there's two different ones together, that's all that matters on this, for what I'm making at least. And I can't tell you what I'm making because I don't know exactly what it'll be once it starts coming out. It kind of comes to me.
Show them my shirt quick. See my shirt?
I'm going to have him wear that shirt to the quilt show when we go. And for those of you, I said I would remind you every week as many times as possible. The quilt show here in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. If you guys are in Phoenix, Vegas, Southern California, anywhere that's within an 8 or less hour trip, the quilt show is November 5th and 6th, 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. It could be 7 a.m. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it's 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. The 5th and 6th. And there's over 300 quilts up for display, lots of vendors, and there are plenty of inexpensive hotels in the area, like literally plenty because we live in a resort town that caters to the London Bridge and the lake. There's plenty of places to eat if you come and stay in a hotel, and you all get to meet me. So those of you that come, you get the chance to meet me because I'll be there all day. I don't think Scott will, but I will. You can just come, we can hang out, and so on and so forth. So those of you that are interested, those are the dates, November 5th and 6th, 2021. It's this year, coming soon. Coming soon. Hoping that all of these sets are completely different. So far, it looks like every single print except for like 2 or 3 are different so far. Obviously, I haven't seen the whole bundle. Not yet, at least.
Elizabeth uses Venus thread.
Venus? I never heard of it.
Permacord.
Permacord.
It's around $4 for a large spool.
Huh. My shirt. If you hear rubbing, sorry. I don't mean to, but I got to keep adjusting my shirt.
Diane wants you to tell her again about the thing. Because internet no.
November. No.
When? Where?
Where?
You're gonna be at the quilt show.
At the quilt show, November 5th and 6th, here in Lake Havasu City, Arizona. It will be fun. And like I said, for those that travel in and need somewhere to stay, there are so many hotels here of all different budgets. If you want, you know, suites and stuff like that, they have them too, and things like that. And I mean, it's not like a huge show. It's not like a Houston quilt show or something. It's nothing like that. It's just your average quilt show. But a lot of people always say, you know, in this tri-state area, if you ever wanted to meet me, you know, that's the best chances at a quilt show. You'll have 2 days to hang out with me. So, but we have lots of stuff here to do in town too. So, and the weather is a lot cooler, a lot cooler. And by the quilt show time, it'll be sweater weather for me, which for you guys is probably shorts and a tank top.
I'll still be in shorts and t-shirt.
He'll still be shorts and a t-shirt too. Not me though.
Elizabeth asked a friend if you want one.
My long arm is a King Quilter 2 Elite. King Quilter 2 Elite. It's hard to, I don't know if you guys, how well you hear my talking over the machine going. It's King Quilter 2 Elite. If you are interested in it, I am an affiliate with Sewing Machines Plus, who sells it. And in the description below every single video, there is a link to their website, not just for King Quilter long arm machines, but for anything you want to purchase off there. It'd be wonderful if you guys would just use my link down below. It does not cost you a thing, and it just helps me out. Some things are covered, some things are not, but it helps my channel out. I also pulled in a new affiliate. You guys ready for this one? Fat Quarter Shop. So now I'm an affiliate of Fat Quarter Shop. So not my old description videos, but my newer description of all the videos, it will be in there. So if you guys are interested in shopping at the Fat Quarter Shop and you want my link, just let me know and I can just send it to you directly, because I don't have, it's not in my older videos, and it's really hard to update individual videos like that. So, but I do need to change my description below my current videos now. So now I am an affiliate with the Fat Quarter Shop. I have to take on some things, you know, because YouTube doesn't pay crap.
They're all saying congratulations.
So yeah, and I do have plans in the future for things that link will be perfect for. So just think about the future too with that. I'm not gonna tell you what yet, because I have to, you know, completely whatever with them to do this. But there's at least a shopping link now down below, just for the whole page. I don't have the specific links for, like, if you want a special ruler, my favorite things kind of list. I don't have that, because I'm kind of just, one link takes care of the whole page. You can go wherever you want as long as you stay on that link. Same with Sewing Machines Plus. I'm trying to.
There's a link for it in this video.
Yeah, there's a link for it in this video.
Okay, well, Valerie wants you to send her links. Tell her.
It's at the bottom of this video, in the part that says the little arrow at the side of the screen, and it has a description depending on what device. If you're on a computer, you could just scroll underneath the video. But any other thing, you close out the chat. Underneath the chat, it'll have the little thing underneath the video, and you can click on it. And since I have a screen open, I will show you guys. I don't know why I just cut the thread right now. That's kind of dumb. So if you're watching the chat on any device, close the chat just like that. And there's always a little arrow. See that little arrow right there where my thumb is? Click that arrow, and it has links to all of my social media, as well as my Sewing Machines Plus and my Fat Quarter Shop. Okay? So just so you guys know. It's just a little thing that helps me out.
I'm ready to iron when you are.
Oh, yeah. Okay, let me show him real quick what I'm doing.
Well, you're up and running around.
I need the area. Make sure it's nice and flat. Warm the seam. Make sure your seam is on the top. Warming the seam. Just like that. Use your fingers.
I have ironed before.
I know, but we need this to see how it's starting to bow.
Yeah.
We don't want bow. So to keep the bowing, just do this with this to where it stays straight, remove it, and then iron. So that way there's no folds, tucks, or pleats, you know? If you don't trust that it's straight, just put this on it. Push it up against the seam, see? Perfectly straight. That's all I need, but it needs a little bit more iron. You get what I'm doing here. So there's a pile for you. All righty.
Valerie said thank you. Chrissy said, I saw your week 11 test. You used the form 10-inch and scraps I sent.
Huh, what?
Marissa said, I saw your week 11 test. You used to, probably the farm 10-inch and scraps I sent.
Oh, yes, my blocks for Eric Sew Along. Yes. Yes, I used those and a couple extra things because there wasn't enough of those. And I wanted 8 colors. All right, hold on. I got to have, I do what Eric does. If you guys have watched his video. So let me move that one out of the way. Camera's moving. Camera's moving. Camera's moving. I have a metal yardstick. It's more than a yard. It's actually the length of usually the strip. What I do is I have the seam at the top. I kind of heat it up. I want my JellyRoll strips to stay straight, especially because these are being subcut. And we're going to peel it back. I'm going to rub my fingers to push it back because I don't want no pleating in it, you know. I just use my fingernail along it. I don't really like grab hard or anything, but you guys know JellyRoll strips are kind of stretchy. But when I do that, then I stick this long ruler and I kind of just rub it against it and make sure that it's straight. There's no gaps in between here. It's fairly simple.
We have this really cool metal ruler.
So, and then I just go over it with the iron like this. I don't always need the yardstick because I'm always pressing fast, but Scott isn't used to pressing these really long strips like this and keeping them super straight, and I need them to stay super straight. So if you don't trust yourself, stick this against it. Any yardstick will do, but I use the metal one, and then it keeps it super straight. Yes, yes.
DJ said Donna Jordan uses that same method.
Yeah, I've been doing this since before, you know, I learned the Donna Jordan way too, but that was years ago, very much. You can come forward again where it was, all the way against the things. There we go. All right, there's a bunch for him to start working on. And I'm going to continue on sewing. But yeah, it's the same method. For those that are beginners, I highly recommend doing it that way because when I first started, these things would sew together and then I'd press them and it'd be all the way down. I hated that. But I didn't know any better. Okay, good. Yep, and just as long as you don't come off the page, once you're on the page and you start shopping, as long as you don't leave those pages on both of those places, then if it's a covered purchase, it gives me credit. And if it's not a covered purchase, then it doesn't. But it doesn't cost you to use it, you know, and it helps me out when, you know, people use my links. So, and since I'm just lay them over the edge right there. Yep. And since I'm the only YouTuber that loves the King Quilter and encourages the purchase for those that are on a more budget and can't totally afford Handy Quilter, but you love Handy Quilter, King Quilter's that next best thing. That's the machine I push. I push that machine. So if you purchase under me, I mean, again, and if you get it on sale too, it's best. I don't get all the notices for when it's on sale, but I can kind of sometimes tell you guys when it is for those that are interested in it.
You don't really push selling it. That's what you use.
Yeah, that's what I use. That's my machine of choice.
These ones are done or these ones?
No, these aren't done.
So these ones are done?
Yes, anything that's in this pile right there.
Oh, I didn't know what pile was. You're all saying they saw Eric use that ironing method?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I don't show all the ironing methods because a lot of people don't want to watch me iron. It's the weirdest thing. Yep. You don't have to open it with the ruler. Open it with your fingers and then put the ruler on it to keep it straight. Because I could already see from here that it's curved. Anyway. So this
said her dog heard the video and had to come up and watch.
so funny. funny. What was I gonna say? So I'm gonna talk about what I did yesterday. Yeah. Yep. No, push it back with your finger first, then iron, because or else you're gonna have a lip. You can't just go right on top of it. It's gonna push it down. I don't think he's understanding me, guys. If you go just on top of it with the iron, look what you're doing. You're folding the fabric.
Okay.
So you have to use your finger to push it back while it's hot, like this, while it's hot. That way it stays back, and once you put the iron on it, it stays open instead of folding. All right. So things I've been up to. Yesterday, I don't know if some of you guys know this, some of you guys don't. Once a month, I do mommy kid dates. But I don't do all kids in 1 month. Can't afford it. But once a month, it goes my oldest kid, my second oldest kid, my third oldest kid, so on and so forth. Goes in order of their age. And we go on dates. And it's their choice where they want to go, what they want to do, what they want to hang out and do, blah, 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 blah. That kind of thing. And sometimes it could be an all day thing. Sometimes it's just a couple hours to hang out with mom. And so yesterday, my oldest, Alexa, and I, we went on a 12-hour day date. We left right before 10 a.m. and we're gone until right at 10 p.m. Like,
you left at 9 o'clock and you came back.
No, it wasn't 9. I already checked my text. We weren't gone at 9.
Whatever. You left at 9 and came back after
Anyway,
9.
we were gone for 12 hours. And so while we were out, we went to Bullhead City, which is the next town over. It's like an hour away. We went to Bullhead, and I had never actually, I go to Joann's, but I've never actually been to any quilt shops in my Tri-City area. So I decided to look up quilt shops. A lot of things Google has, they're closed. Google has not updated certain things in a long time, I guess, because most of the places that it was popping up were closed. But I did find one open shop, and it's called Roxy's. And she knew who I was by my quilt submission from last time's quilt show. And so she knew who I was, and she remembered. And she was so sweet, so sweet. Oh my God. She has an awesome shop. She's a Bernina dealer that also splits with So Yeah Quilting, because they're within the distance of being the Bernina dealers. They actually were like collab selling. I don't know how it works, but whatever. She was trying to explain it. I don't retain that kind of information. Anyway, so they were kind of whatever, but now she's full on just whatever for herself, and then they do whatever. So things that they can't fix in her shop, they would send to yeah. So makes sense. Anyway, so we went there, and let me tell you, not only did I go goo goo gaga because she has all the newest of new stuff coming in, but Alexa, she went goo goo. Oh my God, I want, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. She's all over, Mom, look at this. And she's just back and forth throughout the whole entire store. What can we make out of this? What can we make out of this? Oh my God, it was so fun though. So anyway, in that process, I have myself a mini haul, which I will show you as soon as I finish my conversation, get some more of these sewn. But anyway, so we went there, and then after the quilt shop, we went to the Spirit of Halloween. We used to get the Spirit of Halloween here in town, but they haven't, they didn't do the store in town this year, so we actually had to go out of town for it so she could shop. Nope. So we went out of town for it, and she was all over that store too, trying to find a costume. She's trying to do a clown.
Oh, Robin says your quilts on Etsy are very, very nice.
Oh, thank you. She was all over the place trying to find this, that, and that, you know, for her costume. While I was just browsing around, because I really, not that I hate Halloween, I don't hate any holiday. Some people take it the wrong way. I don't hate any holiday. I just don't dress up. I don't go out and trick or treat. I don't go out and take anybody trick or treating. I prefer to just stay home and stay home. I prefer to stay home. So we went there. After she was done finding what she found, then we went over to Target. We don't have a Target here, but it's out of town again. So it's in town we went to called Bullhead City. So we went to Target. I have not been to Target in years, and I wish I could show you guys my screen. I didn't buy it. I really, really wanted to buy it, but I just didn't get it. Anyways, there was a sweater there that had a lone star in the middle. I'm like, it's sweater season for me at least. Not other people, they could care less. But for me, it's sweater season in the evening time. And yeah, they had a sweater with a lone star in the middle. Oh, it was adorable, adorable, adorable. But I didn't buy it. Anyway, long story short, we left Target and then we went to a game store for her. Like she buys stuff at some game store for her D&D. And if you have, you know, children that are into D&D, you'll know and know it's not like sexual. It's Dungeons and Dragons type, whatever D&D stands for. Anyway, so then we went to that place. She got what she needed there for her games. And then after that, we drove to the casinos, which is in Laughlin, Nevada. So we went all the way to Laughlin, Nevada because they have an Outback Steakhouse. Now, I'm not sure when I was a kid if I ever went to Outback Steakhouse, but in California we had Outback Steakhouse. But I don't remember if I ate there.
Heather says clown costumes have been outlawed in Texas after the last It movie came out. Why is that?
Interesting. Never heard of that. That's weird.
That.
Well, she's not like a regular clown. It's a totally different clown. It's a punk rock clown. Anyway, so we get to Laughlin and we get to the casino and we go to Outback, but we have to wait because the whole mask thing in Nevada is super crazy again. They don't sit all the tables anymore. It's like every other table again, and the wait time is outrageous because you got to think. Not only was this casino, this is where the story gets good. Not only is the casino super packed, me and Alexa were so curious as to why we couldn't find parking, not even in the parking garage. Like this place was that packed. Come to find out, the Aquarius, which is where the Outback Steakhouse is, also hosts concerts. It's got a concert thingamabobber. Concert hall? Is that the word? Concert hall? Yeah. It has a concert hall. Guess who was playing? Leonard Skinner. If you guys don't know, Sweet Home Alabama, the song Sweet Home Alabama. Yeah, okay, anyway. Leonard Skinner's playing. And I'm like, and Lexa was like, oh, I'm gonna go to concert. I wanna go to concert. She was literally freaking out. She started singing the song because she knew, you know, who it is. She's like, oh my God, oh my God. Well, we went on to the Ticketmaster thing, and it starts at $55 a ticket, and that's for the seats that are way far from the stage, right? Well, you know, it's the last minute, it's the second day, bless you. The concert started on Friday, and Saturday was the second day, which was yesterday. The tickets for me and her to go were not $55 at the starting price all the way far because they didn't have any of those seats left. It was $174. So we're like, nah, never mind. We're not doing that idea. After I had called Scott and everything and asked him, hey, you want to come to Laughlin and go to a concert? But he said, no, you girls just go, have fun. But yeah, we never ended up doing it, going to the concert. But I could have. So I could have saw Leonard Skinner in concert yesterday. But we didn't. So by the time we were done with the Ticketmaster and everything, our table with the Outback was ready. Scott's teasing me because I went to a steakhouse and I ate chicken.
Yeah, who goes to a steakhouse and doesn't order steak?
He says, who goes to a steakhouse and don't order steak? I did not order steak. And I tried, I forgot what it's called, ahi? I don't know, ahi. Alexa ordered ahi. She likes to try it everywhere that sells it. I don't like raw fish, but I guess it's seared on one, you know, they sear it or whatever, and it's raw fish on the outside, like raw tuna. Nope, not happening. I knew I didn't like seafood, and that, yeah, I'm not eating seafood ever again. So she ate her ahi. She had steak. I had fried chicken and a baked potato and broccoli. Yum. And then we, oh, and I only gambled $1 because I sat at a penny machine while we were waiting for our tables after the Ticketmaster thing. I didn't spend any money, which was good because gambling can really, do a damage on your wallet.
Pam wants to know how she would make a rail fence out of 2.5 strips.
Oh, so 4 together, 3 or 4 together, 3 or 4 strips. And if you're doing 3, cut them at 6.5 inches into 6.5-inch squares when you subcut, and then flip one way, the other way, one way, the other way. And if you're doing 4 strips, which I've seen lots of people do, then it would be 8.5 inches, one way, the other way, one way, the other way. Subcut your strip sets. You'd sew 4 together or 3 together, whatever you want out of your jelly roll. Just make sure they're different and alternate your colors, or you can put the colors in a row. It don't really matter how you do it. It's fairly simple. So after we left Laughlin, we went back into Bullhead. They're literally just spaced by a river. And we went back into Bullhead, and on the way in, we stopped at Joann's because, I'm trying to hit quilt shops. So we went to Joann's, and Joann's had tons of cool fabric, but I don't know, I just didn't want anything. I mean, there was a couple things I could have got, but I don't know, I just didn't want anything. And so Alexa bought a ton of stuff, not holiday, but fall themed for her soon-to-be mother-in-law, which I just say mother-in-law, but whatever. She bought some fall stuff for her mother-in-law. And then we left there, and she stopped to get something to drink, and then we went home. It was a very long day. Lots of walking, like literally lots of walking. I probably walked off 10 pounds that I really desperately need because that's how much walking we did. That was so much. The casinos alone, I don't know if you guys have ever been to a casino, but those of you that have, they are so big. So that's what we did yesterday. And as soon as I sew this strip, I will get my bag and show you what I bought at Roxy's. But I had a really fun day with Lexa. We did so much and hung out, and we just had lots of fun. So what I purchased was...
Krista said she's going to post a picture on your page. It's Halloween people going crazy there with decorations.
Wow.
Okay.
Yep. All right, so let's move some of this so you guys can see. So I got 2.
Heather wants to give you some of her weight because she could stand. I'll give her some of mine, Heather.
All right. So first off, I got panels. I got 2 panels that are the bomb. Like, these are absolutely freaking amazing. All right. So I don't know how well this whole thing is going to be in the screen, but this is called Dragons from In the Beginning Fabrics. And it is a screen print panel. I don't know if the whole thing is in the screen or not. This thing is absolutely awesome. So with said dragon panel, so you guys can see the whole thing a little bit closer. Look at this thing. And you guys know I love, love, love dragons. I am obsessed with dragons. So this is my dragon panel. To go with my beautiful dragon panel, I bought a yard of this that just came out. It's called Marbled. It's Hoffman Spectrum Print by Hoffman, California. It's just called Marble. So there's this right here to go around it because obviously the lightning goes with everything. And then the second print that I got to go with it is this right here. You can see it's Celtic knotwork in nature. And then the fabric goes perfectly. It's the same designer, but not same fabric line. This one's called, I don't even know how to say that word. What does this say?
Where?
This word.
Diophanicus?
Fan.
Is that A-N?
I don't know. That's an A-N, yes.
Is that an N? So Diophanous?
Diophanous by Jason Yetter from In the Beginning Fabrics. So that to go with it outside of this. So it's like the perfect combination. It all goes beautifully together. So that is one. So I'm not making big quilts out of this, obviously. I only got 1 yard of each of those fabrics to go with the panel. I don't buy much when I
Retired and preppy. I like that name. That's a good name.
I don't buy much, you know, just to make something up as I go. Probably just going to make it really simple because I love dragons and I kind of just want to quilt the panel. But I need to make it at least quiltable size. So I got that. So that's one item. Put it back in its bag or else I'll forget.
Well, that's awesome, Shirley. Shirley made a son-in-law California king quilt with that panel, but in an orange version.
Ooh, and then the second one I got is, again, you guys know I love dragons. So I got this panel. I'm gonna make sure it's right side up. Again, dragons. Freaking awesome dragons. The scary kind, not the cute cartoon kind. So I got these dragons, and to go with these dragons, which is by, it's just called Dragons in the Beginning again, fabrics. I got purple lightning bolts, same brand, just a different color to go with it, because as you can tell, there's purple in here. See, look at that. And then to go with that, because of the purple, I got purple. So I got this right here. And this matches the designs that are in this panel. It literally just looks amazing together. And then again with the purple. And then this is by, let me see.
They're awesome. Everybody's love.
Dan Morris Designs QT Fabrics. So that's what this one is from. So literally the combination is absolutely gorgeous, and it looks really, really good with this bottom piece right here because of just the look of that one with these two colors. Like, fabulous. So I picked out all of this for me with the help of my daughter, obviously, who is all over the store with me. Jumping off the walls, exactly. She was so excited, so very excited. Like, yeah. So we had a lot of fun. And then I also bought, while I was there, which I already put away, is some spool nets because I need them for my long arm. So that way my thread can stuck, because I quilt so fast that sometimes my spool will come under and wrap under the thing, just the way my long arm thing, the spool holder is designed. Sometimes it gets wrapped and it just, yeah, it gets caught. So I figured, well, hey, how about a spool net, and that will stop happening. And then Alexa got, I'll show you guys her stuff because hers is for bags.
Marlast is that daughter quilt.
Yes, she's actually made 4 quilts. 3 of them are quilted. One, she has the quilt top here still. All right, so Alexa got this fabric. I've already put zippers with it. It's glowing eyeballs. She definitely has some taste. But for those that are curious about these Halloween fabrics, this is Blank Quilting Corp. Hocus Pocus Halloween. So that's what this is. And then I already grouped all this. I had the fabric for that. But her next print, she got this glowing mushrooms. And this is from, she's getting a lot of glowing stuff. She only got a half yard because it's for bags. But this is Henry Glass. and I don't have the name of it because it's not on there. It's Henry Glass glowing mushrooms. The lady said this is a more recent line. And then she got this one, which is got mushrooms on it. This one does not glow, but it's Summer Night Soiree Salt Meadow Studios by Henry Glass. So that's that. And then her main fabric for her thing that she's doing is this. Again, the mushrooms and the stars on this one glow in the dark. So if you guys see a video in the upcoming future on me making something, that's because this is for her. This is Summer Night Soiree Salt Meadow. So the whole entire thing is the summer, whatever I just said.
You're gonna make the quilt for her?
It's not a quilt, it's bags.
Oh, you're gonna make the bags for her?
Yeah.
Stuff that she bought?
Yep.
See, she's not into quilting. She's gonna have mommy make it for her.
Anyway, so
but
that's.
At least she likes the fabric.
Yes. And we've seen it glow in the dark. Like, it was actually really awesome. I thought my panels would glow in the dark because they have white on them, but then I was like, nope, they probably don't. So I didn't even bother trying, but all of hers did. All right, back to some sewing. All right, I already did a group of that. So let's put this one with this one, that one with that one. And ooh, I don't like that one with that one. So hold on. Let's move these around on my lap so I can see what I actually like together. Let's put this with that one. This with that one. And that with that one.
Get some fabric like that and get them into it.
Yes, I love dragons, so that's why I immediately called Scott and said, oh, I know what I'm getting. I know what I want, these dragons. He didn't know what they look like, obviously, but I did tell him I was going to get stuff. So that's what we did. That's where we went, and that's what we got. I really, really wanted to get the sweater at Target, but if I go to Bullhead again, if they have it again, then I'll think about it. Alexa did try on a dress.
Ashley says I never knew they had glow in the dark fabric.
Oh yeah, lots of it, especially Halloween stuff. Halloween stuff, definitely. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh, Alexa tried something on at Target. She tried it on a dress. Not, excuse me. Not just any dress. If you guys have Target in your area, you might want to look. They have a dress there that has, oh my God, what's the word? What's the word? Oh no, it happened again. I know what it is. It's on the tip of my tongue. Double wedding ring. Ooh, awesome. There's a dress with a double wedding ring print. She put it on, and I don't care what anyone says. Everybody knows the Amish dress in solid colors. So very deeper colors, dark blues, light blues, in those ranges, and it have a white trim or a black trim or blah, blah, blah. This dress was in the darker prints. She put it on, and yesterday she had wore a bandana around her head, like to hold her hair back, but she had it cute with her bangs sticking out a little bit. She put that dress on and had that bandana on, and I shit you not, sorry for the word, but she looked like a little Amish girl, like you see on the TV shows. It was 100% true laughter. And she's like, Mom, don't laugh at me. She loved the dress. Alexa was obsessed with it. She really wanted to get it. She didn't, though, because she didn't know where she would wear it, what kind of situation, but she looked like a little Amish girl. And I was laughing. It was so funny. But yeah, I actually have pictures of her. I can't show you because they're on the device. But yeah, if she wants to share them, she can. But it's just super funny, that dress. I thought it was just the cutest thing. I have never seen a dress made with the prints that you'd make a already made quilt with those quilt panels, those fake quilts
Why
or
didn't you take
faux
pictures and show
quilts.
me this dress? I haven't
I
seen
thought
it.
I showed you yesterday.
No, you did not.
Oh, well, I'll show you. They're on my phone. We can't see them while we're on
You
live.
can't see 'em now.
Yeah.
Show me later.
But yeah, let me tell you, that girl looked like a little Amish girl. Perfect, because she was wearing the bandana on her head. Super cute though. Super cute. But I've never seen a faux quilt panel turned into a dress. That was the first time ever, and sold at Target nonetheless, of all places. Like, yeah. But it was super fun. We had a great day.
I guess we should have a Target here in our town.
I wish, huh? More choices than just Walmart. I don't. Their prices aren't as low as Walmart's though, honestly. But yeah, we had a great day. I got super full because I ate all my food. I never eat all my food, but I didn't want to take anything home with such a long drive and it sit in the car. She bought donuts when we left in the morning and they melted in the car, so I don't want to take any more chances of food in the car. So we had fun. I hadn't been gone. I don't usually leave for hours. Even my Vegas trip wasn't even that long, just drive to Vegas and pick someone up from the airport and come back, But yeah, I was gone all day. Wore myself out. All right, here's more for you to iron while I start cutting the next step. I was talking, so I didn't cut any of these for you to iron. All right, so I need to keep these out of my way, so they're just gonna go up there. So my next step is going to be taking my strip units, and I'm gonna fold them in half because there's no reason to have to keep them completely open because it's getting the same cut, and the same cut is going for everything. I'm just gonna line up my seam, and I'm also lining up the top and the bottom. This should be 4.5 inches. What I am going to do is grab a square ruler, or it doesn't really matter. I can use it. You can use a regular square ruler, but if you have a strip tube ruler, that would actually be better. But it's the same as a square. So just know that you can lay your square on, instead of this way, you would lay it up and down, sideways. I'm going to use my strip tube ruler here, just like this, and I'm going to lay the whole entire ruler on because this is the mini, and the mini fits from top to bottom perfectly on this strip. So I'm going to lay it on here, and I'm just going to start cutting out strip units. Not units, but triangles. Because again, I'm making something the strip tube way, but not strip tubed, I guess. So I'm just going to cut out a ton of triangles. I'm just going to line that end up. And I got a little tip hanging out, like a 1/4 inch about, and I don't care about that. Oops, it didn't get that right there. Get it right there. There we go. So I'm just going to set that aside, my start, and then I should have 2 pieces that look like this. And I'm just going to throw them because I am doing a messy version of what I'm making. So I'm just going to flip my ruler and cut the opposite direction until the whole entire unit is cut, or you can stack all the units at the same time. I'm just going to move my chair and do this standing because I'm faster when I stand to cut versus when I sit to cut. I'm just going to line this up like that. And I'll get one more, turning it this way, just like this. All right, and what's left is a diamond, and I'm going to save all of these leftover pieces. if I cut them all the same, I'll have leftover diamonds that I can use for something else. So again, I'm just going to fold it on top of itself, nice and straight, and cut out. And I'm just making I'm not even making a stack. I'm going to be mixing, matching them all. So nothing's going to be exact. These can go there, those can go there. Turn my ruler, cut this way over and over until my whole entire unit is cut up. And then we're going to cut some yardage after this. And then I'll make a couple blocks to show you what I'm doing. And the rest of it can be done off camera. But you got the general idea of what I'm doing. And then when I come back, I think next week, I can show you how to lay everything out. So see, I have diamonds left over. That can be for another project. And all these are going to be 100% different.
They look sort of like Eastery colors.
Kind of. Very spring. Spring. Spring-like. Okay, nice and lined up. Nice and lined up, nice and lined up. Try not to move the ruler. It's very hard for me not to move something. Oh, wow. So again, I'm just getting little strip triangles that look like this. They're all different. Yep. I'm gonna turn it. Maybe it will.
That's the most people you've ever had. That's pretty good.
Yes. Oops.
Billy asked her all the strips they light in the dark.
Yeah, they're just opposite colors. It doesn't really matter light or dark. They're just opposite colors. That's all I did. Was no two strips had the same two colors together. At least they shouldn't have, but I wasn't really that much paying attention. So, but yeah, you can see light, dark, it looks like, sort of. So we're just gonna finish cutting all these up. Shouldn't take too long. And then I can start showing you
Says, I like how
what I'm doing.
them out of the way, so.
Yep. That seam, it just keeps getting stuck. I'm not changing my blade because I just changed it like a few months ago. Too lazy to change it again. You guys know me. Oy. So, cutesy. And mine have the tip blunted off, but that's okay because what we're going to be doing with them is not really going to matter because we're probably going to have to trim everything down.
How many ironing things did you go for?
Oh, it doesn't matter because I wasn't really counting. They look flat to me so far.
You know you make one.
All right. Huh, look at that. It's going to be a nice little diamond. And I use all my scraps. So there's going to be no waste for me. And if you guys want to follow along with whatever I do with my scraps, I don't know if I'll do it in a video, but I at least show what I make in picture form. So
S. Taylor wants you to show how to cut it with a regular ruler.
okay. We're going to make sure that this regular ruler is the same exact size, and it is. Oops, regular ruler. Here's a regular ruler. You're going to lay, see there's a line on the ruler right here. This is a 6.5 inch ruler. I'm going to take that line on my 45-degree angle line, and I'm going to lay that along the, is it in the camera all the way? Okay. I'm going to lay my 45-degree line along that bottom right here, keeping everything nice and straight. I'm going to line this edge up from my previous cut, and then my line, my 45-degree line, and then make a cut. So my next one, I'm going to turn the ruler Oh, actually, it doesn't matter which way you have it, as long as your 45-degree line is across there. And now my 45-degree line is going across the bottom right here, making a cut. And then my final one, open it up, put my 45-degree line on here again, just like this. Everything's nice and lined up, and make a cut. So there's my goal. So it doesn't matter which one, if you use the strip tube ruler or whatever. Same exact thing. I just went with the strip tube ruler because it's already shaped like a triangle. So that way I don't have to pay attention to lines. But if you don't have a strip tube ruler, it definitely works.
You guys want me to zoom in or anything? We can do that.
Yeah, if you got you,
Doing up close.
I can zoom in.
Well, I'm asking if they will.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's tip it down. Camera's moving. Camera's zooming now. All right. There. There you go.
Line on the seam.
Okay. So here's what the strip looks like. It's just two sewn together, folding it on top of each other to where both my selvages meet up right here at the end. This is nice and straight. This is nice and straight. I can feel the seam in the middle touching. I'm going to take my regular 6.5-inch Fiskars. It doesn't matter if it's Fiskars or, hold on, let me grab another one. Or Omnigrid or, which one? Omnigrips. It doesn't matter as long as it's a square with a 45-degree line across the bottom. So we'll use the Omnigrid for this. I'm going to start with my 45-degree line. This is a 6.5-inch square, which is perfect. I'm going to line that line up right here along both those fabrics that are folded across the bottom. And it's going to stick out just like a 1/4 inch or so on the top because that's going to give it its blunt tip, which is just a 1/4 inch tip. And then we're going to take and cut one side, if I can cut it, and then cut the other side, just like that. And this one had a little bit more of a blunt tip, but that's okay. So there's those. Turn the ruler, keeping that 45-degree line on the bottom, just like this, lining it up, lining up this side as well. Everything's nice and straight. Make the cut. And you'll get your 2 half pieces, or 1/4 pieces, technically, is what they are. And then, oops, it shifted. If you don't want to use the square method and you have your strip tube junior, just line that up on the edge of the actual strip tube junior, and make the cut. I have 2. Again, I'm going to have blunt tops, but that's because I'm going to be putting stuff together. And if you only have the Fiskars ruler or any other one, again, same 45-degree line along the bottom, just like this and like that. And don't forget to line up your side as well, and then make the cut, just like that. So that's how that's done with regular square rulers as well. I'm going to throw all those away up here on the wall, and we're going to unzoom you, and I'm going to throw them away on the wall. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to unzoom you and get back to, oops, I don't know if it's fully unzoomed. There we go. Stay. It goes back and forth a bazillion times. I don't know why it does that. Don't know why it does that. It's probably a YouTube thing. I don't know. All right. Lining these up and get back to my strip tube ruler. Gets done faster this way because I'm not lining anything up at the bottom of the ruler. This method. And again, they're not perfect, but I'm going to be trimming stuff down anyway, so. I just need all these color choice options. Put this under like this. Okay, put these on top of each other. Wow, there's a lot of you here today. That is so awesome. Don't forget your thumbs up. Thank you guys all for being here, hanging out. Maybe there's no football tonight. Everyone's here because there's no football, huh? Give me a thumbs up if there's no football. Focus on quilting only today. That's funny. I do my best to keep my fingers out of the way too, because I've nicked myself before. Well, back when I used my other rotary cutter. This one doesn't really, I don't really have that many problems with the Martelli cutter with nicking myself as I did with other rulers. I mean, other cutters. Just lining everything up. I always start with the cut towards me at the bottom so that all my leftover scrap pieces are going to end up on the exact same side.
Who wants to know what's the name of the JellyRoll? It's very pretty.
It's a cut by a company called Rivers Bend, and it's called Hope. That's the name of the JellyRoll, by Rivers Bend. It sounds like a place like Jordan Fabrics where they cut their own stuff, you know, and then they name the JellyRoll.
Judy said she's watching UN football.
Oh.
There you go, Judy. That's the way to do it. Judy, first time here.
Oh, welcome. Welcome to all my new, I'm going to sit down so that I can look at you. Welcome to all my newcomers. It's great to have you here. Like, seriously, this is awesome. This is so many people that Scott is having a hard time keeping up. But I'm going to get back to standing because standing and cutting keeps me from sitting on my butt all day too. Although it does kind of hurt my neck a little bit because my table is a little on the short side, but I've explained that before. It's because I used to use a tall bar height table, but I don't anymore because they both don't fit in this room.
JK asks, if you cut your last triangle on the other end, does it change the look of the diamond?
If I would have cut it from the other, we'll get to that. Hold on, let's see.
Last triangle on the other end, does it change the look of the diamond?
Well, we'll see right now. Probably not. I think it'll be the exact same. All right, so if I was to come from this side, no, it's going to be the same, no matter which way. So I'm just cutting from the side I'm used to so that maybe all the seam allowances are all going in the same direction for my little leftover diamond. But I should have enough of these diamonds probably to make, just so that you guys can see what I'll do with these most likely, is make
Honey says, I'm amazed at how much you get done, Ted.
Stars, see? Yeah. So when I'm done making the quilt that I'm currently making, all my leftover triangles will do 8 pointed stars, like that. Doesn't that look so awesome? And then all I have to do is cut more yardage of the same fabric that I'm using as the background for these, and I can make, you know, like pillow covers or something. So that's what I'll use those for. And then the other scraps, I don't even know what I'll use. Oops, let's put that one there too. So that's what I'll do with those, because they're perfect for stars. And I'll know the numbers from that after the fact. When I go to make them, I'll know what size to cut my star pieces.
Thank you, Teresa.
What'd you say? Yeah, it does. If you guys could get your husbands to start ironing and be your own personal Iron Man, it would definitely help out. It's going a lot faster today than I thought just by doing this with him helping. Plus, I sew fast too with the strips, but I wasn't passing him all the strips as I was sewing. I shot the sheriff. That's the song. They can't hear the music. I shot the sheriff. I did not shoot the deputy. That's what's on the radio, guys. If you're wondering. If I just pop out in random tune, out of tune, in tune, just singing along. Only I can hear the radio. Well, Scott can, kind of, probably. But you guys shouldn't be able to, which is good. I missed being able to sew even while on live stream, having music on. When I'm on live stream, I was never able to. Heard it from a friend too. Heard it from another. You've been messing around. If you're curious, I like rock mainly. So I listen to classic rock and I listen to 90s alternative rock and everything else. I'm all over the spectrum when it comes to music. I've never been too picky. Oops. She played me some of her music, yes, and it's very weird, some of it. Oh no, not that. We didn't listen to that. We listened to some other stuff, and I won't repeat words because they're cussy, in the cussy nature.
She showed
Weird
up
stuff.
listening to something, and I said, "What are you listening to?" I use different terminology too. She said, "It's K-pop mixed." I was like, "What, Korean? What in the world?"
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's in another language, some of it, but no, what she was listening to yesterday was, I'm not going to repeat the sentences of some of these songs because it is not, whatever, catchy, but not something I should say on YouTube. Almost done cutting these, and then we could start cutting up some strips from my 2 yards of fabric, which I allotted myself, since I tend to allot myself a certain amount. It's most likely going to be a lap size quilt, whatever happens here. Cut so quick. Get her done. Only a few more left to cut. And then I could start cutting my, well, I'm going to be cutting 1.5 inch strips, just so you guys know in advance, of my background fabric. Why is it right there? I think maybe there's a divot or something in my cutting mat. It could just be that my blade is finally going dull. Let's try to go further over this way. Maybe I'll avoid hitting that spot. Any questions, Scott, or anything? Just remember, you guys can ask things the whole entire time. I'm not since Scott started taking over on the chat for reading and stuff, I don't see everything, so my conversations kind of get quiet around here. So unless I think of something that I'm doing while I'm trying to show something specific or teaching something specific. And I know you guys don't want to hear me sing. My voice really, since my valley fever, whew, my voice stinks. Let me tell you.
Karen asked what JellyRoll
It is called Hope from Rivers Bend. I'm going to just hold this up to you guys so that you can see. I don't know if it's in the camera, Scotty. Oh, there it is. I can see it. That's what I'm using. It was gifted to me. So I try to use the things gifted to me like I do with anything I have. Sometimes I give them away,
Connie
but
says,
most of the
"Tiff,
time I
is
use
like
it.
new? It's working so well."
Yeah, right. Yeah, I need to put a new one in. Probably by the end of this project, I'm going to have to because I keep getting snags and that's not good.
Heather says, when you use a square ruler, how do you place the edge of the fabric before cutting? Is it up to the edge of the line, or do you place the line on the fabric before cutting?
I place the line on the fabric, then cut. So the line goes on the edge of the fabric, and then cut one, cut two, pull away. Same as my other ones. So you can see that it's cutting the same exact thing, just with a different tool or ruler. So you can just use the ruler if you want. I line the 45-degree line up first, and then the side, and then I cut because you don't want to cut before you line anything up. And you can put it to the edge if you want. Like I said, there's no actual measurement for this, what I'm making. This is kind of like a making it up as I go. And the next step, I'm going to have to trim anyway. So there's really no point for it to be perfect. And I don't know if this ruler is big enough, but let's see. No, it's not. If you had the 6, I don't even think the 6-inch, that's a 5-inch. Hold on. For those that don't have certain rulers, not quite sure. Well, you can line the edge up of the ruler, the tip, and this edge, and make the cut if you want from one of these longer rulers. Line up right. Yeah, I can't get that to right there. My 45-degree line is down here on the bottom, but I would have to line that tip up right here with my like 1-inch line on one of these because it's not quite the length. But you can use any ruler if you have any ruler.
He said, "Thank you. I always wondered about that."
Yeah. All right.
And then Lizette asks, "Do you do the tutorial between Kevin's POS?"
I will be doing it. I just haven't got to it yet, guys. I am behind on my own stuff, and I got the quilt show thing. I haven't even bound that quilt, and I have to have it done by the 14th of October, which is just a few days, you know. So I'm not worrying about any other thing until I am completely done with my quilt show entry, paperwork, pictures, and everything. And then I'll get to it. And I'm not doing a full tutorial. I'm not giving you guys any measurements or anything because I'm not allowed to. It's not my pattern. I am just going to cut all my pieces and show you how to put the blocks together. That's all I'm doing. T and Kevin are doing them sewing the blocks together in the same room during a live chat. I am just making pre-made videos, no live chats. I'm just making a pre-made video, and I'm doing mine in months. So month 1 will have the first big huge block, month 2, so on and so forth, will have that all the way until 13 months. The 13th month will be making the border, and then the 14th month will be putting the whole entire thing together. So mine is going to last longer than a year because I have a lot. I'm doing all of that stuff. So
Karen says, "Did she tell you how much she loves the crossbody?" She says, "Oh my goodness, can't wait to make it."
oh, the right bag.
Yes.
I don't know if
Right
you guys
bag.
come down here.
Yes,
You guys
Karen
all
says you have
watched.
such a creative mind.
You guys all watched that video. I don't know. That was during my migraine. Okay. So while I was making that video, my doctor got rid of my migraine, by the way, for those that didn't know and haven't talked to me since last week. But yeah, my doctor gave me a new pill called Nurtec ODT to get rid of it. 2 hours later, it was gone. I was good. So anyway, that whole video, it's named the right bag because I kept saying left or right. I kept saying the word when I meant left. So I named it the right bag because it's for you. Because I kept saying the wrong thing. So funny. So funny. Yeah, I struggled. And then when I rewatched it to edit it, I was like, what the heck am I doing? What am I saying? So I thought I'd add the humor by going, putting the words in, saying things like, I said it again. I keep saying it. I don't know my right from my left because I didn't that day. It was so bad. But I don't have the bags to show you guys because the right bags that I made too for my clients. So, yeah. But that's how to make it. And if you don't know how to make bags or you don't trust yourself, you could always contact me. And I do make bags. All prices start out because the shipping and or extra types of fabrics and so on and so forth. They start out at $45. So just depends on the kind of stuff I use, but that's what they start out. All right. This. Oh, I almost got my fingernail on that one. All right, last piece to cut. All right, so I do now have a whole stack of diamonds for later. Yeah. And then now I have all of these, which temporarily I'm going to throw on my chair so that I don't accidentally cut them. And
what about the
pink miniature quilt. Oh, I haven't got to that tutorial yet, guys. Just you'll have to give me a little while. Like I said, I'm very behind. It's the Lone Star one, right? The Twinkle Twinkle Little Lone Star. Is that what she's talking about? Yeah. So if you guys are waiting on the Twinkle Twinkle Lone Star in a regular tutorial, I haven't done that yet because I've been super behind on everything. So I get to it when I get to it. Okay. My migraine days knocked me for a loop, and I didn't get much video making done. So, all right. So I have 2 yards of fabric here. I'm just lining it up. I need a left-handing cut ruler real quick. Cut myself a nice straight edge. There we go. Put that away. And now I'm going to be cutting, and I'm cutting 2 at a time because my yardage is, as you can see, folded in half. So I'm cutting 2 at a time. Yeah. Yep. Just give me a minute on that kind of stuff, guys, because I'm so behind. And with Quilt Show, it's stressing me out a little. So I'm trying to make sure I have everything legitly the way they want it, which kind of sucks because I have to cover my quilting, and you guys saw the quilting on that. I actually have to cover the quilting up with a sleeve because they won't let me do a sleeve with hooks like I usually do for stuff that I really want the quilting to show. So, all right, so I'm cutting 1.5-inch strips. And I'm cutting 2 at a time, just so that you guys know. I'm just cutting a bunch. I don't know exactly how many I need, but I'm just gonna cut a bunch to start so I can show you guys how to make a couple blocks, and then we'll get to, once you guys know how to make the blocks, then you can do this on your own, and then when I come back, I'll show you the rest of it when I come back on next Sunday. Because you'll get 2 Sundays worth of this, because I'll finish it all off camera. So far I've cut 10 1.5-inch strips. That's what I love about this ruler. It's got the 1.5. I just line that up.
I like your handle you put on there.
Yeah, my handle helps me pick it up and move it as needed a lot better than if I was to slide it, because my fingernails would always get stuck, and it gets stuck to the fabric too. Because it's a non-slip ruler.
It says I bought a bunch of JellyRolls. This is great.
Yeah, you'll love it. You'll see what I'm going to do in a second. Actually, and I know what I'm going to use those little scraps for now. Totally just thought of it right now. Because I didn't cut myself another accent color. Maybe I cut myself a small amount of. You don't need to iron anything yet. I don't know how many I'm going to be making exactly. So I'm going to stop there. How many is that? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. Here, we'll cut one more time. And I'll have 20 strips.
Ever wants to know what's the name of this quilt?
I don't have one yet. It's just a Sew Sunday. Just if you ever want to refer back to what I'm doing and start today's video as the start, it's Sew Sunday's 10-3 video. All right, so I've cut 20 1.5 inch strips to start. That should be plenty, hopefully. If I have to cut more later, I'll let you guys know. But I started with 2 yards. So I'm just going to fold this out of the way because I don't need this just yet. And I'm going to see something real quick because I know what my idea is in my head. There should be plenty of all this. Yeah, I'm going to cut 1.5 inch squares out of all this. Little 1.5 inch squares as I get to them. So I'll show you guys what I'm doing. All right, we're going to pull this down there. I'm going to put all this up here out of my way. Did I drop some? No, I did not. I'm going to move that ruler out of the way, toss that out of the way, and take a drink of water, and we're going to get started. All right, so you can see what we're going to do here. I'm going to leave you facing down, but then when I start sewing, I will turn it up. So we're going to take 4 totally different ones. Totally different. All 4 totally different pieces. Just dig through 4. That one's the same as that one. Let's grab this guy right here. 4 totally different pieces, just like that. So we're going to do. And this has probably been done before, but not by me. So since it's not been done by me, it's okay. I'm going to take one of my 1.5 inch strips. I'm going to put these the way I want them, aesthetically pleasing. So that looks good like this. I'm going to take one of these 1.5 inch strips, open the unit all the way up. I'm literally going to lay this right here to where if I was to take a ruler and lay it on the edge of this outside piece, that my strip comes to the end of it. Well, actually, I don't want it at the end. I want it to where these two match up. Right there. Just like that. So I want it past it, you know, about right there. So it's sticking out about 1.5 inches, 1.25 inches-ish. Then I'm going to take a rotary cutter, and that's about the length I want it, right? So I'm going to do the same thing with this one. I'm going to line the 2 straight parts up with my strip, and I'm going to put my ruler on here as if it was a square and if it was sewn together. I'm going to go, oh, this is how long I want it right there, and just cut that off. So to give you guys a more about number, these little pieces are 7 and just say 7 3/4. Okay, so 7 3/4. We're going to do the same thing this way. So about 7 3/4 over, which this is not a 7-inch ruler. Like I said, we're making this up as I go, so I can give you numbers as I go. About 7 3/4 right there. And then I'm going to make another about 7 3/4 right here. So you'll get 4 per strip. Well, you'll get more than 4, but 4 for now. So we're going to take those 4 pieces. Then we're also going to take one of these. So take one of your scrap pieces because I'm all about using everything up. So find whatever one. Awesome. Okay, so take one of these. Take a little tiny square ruler, and we're going to cut a 1.5 inch square off of here. So I'm going to go to where I have 1.5 right there. 1.5 and 1.5. And I'm going to use up as much as I can of all this. So now I'm just going to turn this little piece and cut out my 1.5. So here's my 1.5 inch square, and it's going to go right there. So you'll have pieces that look like this. Just cut as many 1.5 inch squares as you can out of all of your leftover fabrics. So there we have that. That way you're not wasting anything and you're using pretty much your whole jelly roll. And if you don't want to, you can also use your diamonds. But I'm going to use those as a different project. So you could always set yours aside and use them for something else. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to line this strip up with this right here, and I'm going to put it down to the bottom, right here at the corner, and above the top up here, so you guys can see on my table, it's above it. I'm going to sew down this, open it up. Yeah, you can zoom in now. As it got to come down. Right here. Trying to make sure we have it fully on the screen. So 4 of these 7 3/4 inch strips like this. We're going to line that bottom straight part up with right here. And I'm going to sew down that. So I'm going to sew down that, and you guys, I'll just put it right back where you guys can see. So give me 2 seconds to sew this together. 1/4 inch seam. Like I said, we're going to be trimming stuff. So, and now I'm just going to finger press this towards my background fabric. It's no big deal. It lays flatter that way. So it's towards my background fabric. Now it's nice and straight. I'm going to take this one now and its straight line, and I'm going to line it now down here on the bottom, nice and straight, both of those, and I'm going to sew from up here to down here. I'll be right back on the screen. Right now it's off the screen, and then you'll see some of the on screens when I sew another block. All right. So now I'm going to finger press this one also towards my background fabric. Just like that. I'm going to have this pressed on the iron also, but before I completely go. Now I'm going to take these 2 pieces and this piece, and I'm going to put my little 1.5 inch square I cut from my scrap and my 2 7 3/4 inch pieces. And we're going to put that right sides together. I'm going to sew it. All right, and I'm going to press that towards my background or my actual JellyRoll color. And I'm going to take this other side and sew that one on. So I'm building the sashing as I go. And then again, this one's going to get finger pressed towards my JellyRoll colors, just like that. And now I'm going to repeat the process with these 3. So I'm going to, again, since I'm already on this physical side, I'm going to put this right sides together on here. I'm going to sew down, and there's hangover. Remember that. There's always hangover. I'm going to sew that. All right, and again, I'm going to finger press this towards my background fabric. And it's not going to be fully flat because I haven't pressed it yet. Now that that's on there, I'm going to grab the other side and put that on there. Just like this. And I'm going to make sure that this is nice and straight right here. I want that straight and that straight. So I'm going to go ahead now and sew those together. Sorry, I got the burps all of a sudden. I had spaghetti for dinner, so it's starting to come up in the burps. And having this microphone on me does not help me any try to hide my burping. All right, so now that that's finger pressed, that's going to go there, just like that. So Scott, can you press all these units real quick for me? So again, these are pressed towards my background fabric. It doesn't really show much because I'm using a Stonehenge fabric for this, so it's kind of stone looking. And then you'll press this one and this one. Purposely to trim. Oh, his iron turned off. So while I'm waiting for the iron, I'm going to literally finger press that with my little wooden tool, which you can ask T Quilts about if you go to her website. She sells these tools. I love it, love it, love it. I don't use it as often as I should, but, and this one too.
Okay.
All right. I got a thread sticking out of that one. All right. So we're going to wait for the iron to be completely done before we sew this together. So this one you guys will see up close, and then I'll have Scott unzoom and we'll start facing the sewing machine, and I'll sew a couple more. So this is going to go right here.
You purposely have this thin piece?
Yeah, make sure you iron it down, please. It'll make me a flatter cut. That's fine. Just let it crease itself in. All right, and this next one right here. And don't worry about your hang-offs because it's going to be bigger than it needs to be. All right, so now we have these 3 pieces. This is what was in my head. And I'm pretty sure, like I said, it's probably been done before, but I'm doing it again, my way. So now I'm going to take my long strip and I'm going to center it right here. And my seams should be going in. Oh, maybe I need to press these towards my background fabric because I'm totally not thinking. Press them that way, please, instead. I don't know what I was thinking. So, yes. Sorry, those press towards background fabric too. Because I'm trying to rush here. I mean, not rush, but explain rush, I guess is the word for it. Thank you, Diane. I see that on my other screen. All right, so press this towards the background, your little center one too, duh. All right, so I'm gonna take this long sashing piece with my little 1.5 inch center square, and I'm gonna center it on here, but I'm going to nest these 2 seams, and I'm going to hold it with my finger. You guys can take a pin and stick a pin right here in this joint. And that way, when you go to move it, you're not adjusting anything. You can do that if you want. I don't ever pin, so this will be the first time right here that I pin anything. I'm going to take this to the sewing machine now. And again, it's hanging over. So I really only need to start from here, where the top tip of this piece is, from here. And I'm going to sew down to here. And my seams.
Pin, or do you pull it out?
No, I pull it out.
Oh, okay. I'm curious.
So I'm going to stick this under and sew it off camera for a second. My seams are nesting. I'm just finger holding the other one because it doesn't really matter for me with a pin or not a pin, but you can put pins. All right, so now this is sewn on here. What we're gonna do is just send this to Scott. I'm gonna have him press it away from my background now because of all the bulk. So I'm gonna have him press it away from, so towards these pieces. All right, so now you should have a unit that looks like a pilgrim's hat that you would have put on your head when you were in kindergarten for Thanksgiving Day. Now we're going to take that and we're going to take this other piece and we're going to do that same thing. We're going to fold this over on top of that. And again, to keep everything nice and straight, we're going to nest these seams. I am not going to pin them. You can pin them if you absolutely have to. I'm just going to hold it right here at that seam and then take this corner of this point right here and this and line them up and take them over to the machine and sew this down. So I'll be right back so you guys can see, and then the next one I'll make again in the sewing machine view. I'm just holding my seam, stopping in it, adjusting the other half of it. You can avoid all that if you're using pins, but I'm not, so. It'll look like it is. All right, and now I'm going to press this one also back. So it was like this. I just sewed this on. I'm just going to roll this back and press it towards my colored fabric. And there we have a nice piece, but we still have to trim it. So let's have Scott press this real quick. And while he's pressing, I'm going to put the camera back in its regular position. And we're going to unzoom. I don't know why it does that. All right, so back to regular, oops, I don't know how that got turned. Position right here and right there. Here is our block, but now we need to trim it. So now I need to find a bigger ruler, bigger, where's my 12 and a half? There it is. Here is my big 12 and a half. If you have like a 10-inch ruler from Missouri Star, one of these that's a 10-inch, you can use that. We're going to take this to 10 inches is what it's at right now, but it's kind of on the wonky side, so we're not going to really use the 10-inch. I'm going to take this down to 9 and a half. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to center. I know you guys can't see this very well, and I already unzoomed. I'm going to line up my diagonal 45-degree line with the center of this, of my cross that I have now created. I'll line that up. And I'm also going to find my, what's half of 9 and a half? 4 3/4 mark. 4 3/4 mark right there. There we go. So 4 3/4 mark in the exact center where my seams come together, and 4 3/4 mark right here on the seam. So we're going to zoom because you guys can't see this. All right. I'm moving the camera. How about that? Oops. Just 2 seconds. Camera move. I'm stuck on those bags for me. You guys get the opposite view of the room right now. I want you really to see this, like I do with my 25 patch block videos. All right. Do you see this? 45-degree line is going down the center right here. I have my 4 3/4 inch line going through the center of this, and then 4 3/4 coming the other way, going from this corner to this corner. That's how we're going to get a nice square block. So again, 4 3/4 mark right here, running through that. Center is center right here, just like that. And my 4 3/4 line is also running through the center of that. So that's where I want it. I'm going to go ahead and start my trimming. It's kind of a little awkward for me because of the camera. I'm sorry if I'm blocking it. I don't know how someone do this. And then we're going to turn it this way. Now all we have to do is line up the 9 1/2 inch mark on the straight line here and on the straight line here. So 9 1/2, 9 1/2, and 9 1/2. I'm looking both directions. Now my 45 is exactly center. It looks like my 3/4 inch line is there. My 3/4 inch line is there. I'm going to go ahead and cut here and cut there. That is very hard to do right in front of the camera like that while on a live stream. So there's my little scraps from that. Not much. Oops, forgot that. And there's my block. So there's one block. Let me go ahead, and while you're in this position, we're just going to go ahead and make the second block. So again, we're going to take another strip. We're going to take another one of these. Thank you guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We're going to go ahead and cut the 7 3/4 inch amount off of all this. So 7 3/4 inch. I'm going to cut 4 of them, just like that. They're not exact because I'm trimming them anyway. I'm going to keep all my other pieces aside. So now I have 4 of these. Okay, I'm going to have them all right side up. I'm going to stick them right here. And then I'm going to take one of these and I'm going to cut a 1.5 inch square out of it. So I'm going to line up my 1.5 here, 1.5 there. Go ahead and cut there and there like that. Pull that away. That was just one of my scrap pieces. Turn this around and cut. You can pre-cut all these if you want to, or you can cut them as you make blocks. I'll probably just be making blocks and cutting them as I go. So there's my 1.5 by 1.5 inch square. Now choose 4 totally different blocks again. So I'm gonna try to find a 4th one.
That's a great way to make triangles into squares.
Right here. So here's 4 again. There we go. We're going to have that in the middle. This there, there. Oh, my selvage is in the way on that one, but I don't think it should be too much of a big deal. And there. So again, I'm going to sew this to that, keeping the straight line on this edge. Put these 2 together, and then keeping my straight line along this edge for these. So this will go to that and that. This, and that. And we're going to go over the sewing machine. It's called, hold on. The fabric I am using is called Aged to Perfection by Maywood Studio. That's my background color. Yeah. Yeah, see? It's called Aged to Perfection. So if you guys know the Maywood Studio Aged to Perfection line, it's really, really nice. Yeah, there we go. So there's that. Alrighty. Let's go over to the sewing machine now. Camera's moving, camera's moving. I don't think it was 42 completely different, but definitely a bunch of different ones. All right, here we are at the sewing machine. I'm just going to sew these pieces together, but I'm going to chain piece because I find that easier for me. Kind of far for me to reach. Bring it all a little bit closer. So I got these 2 together. Just going to sew these through like this. It's sticking over on the top. That's fine. Just come up above where that piece ends. And then I'm going to grab that next one, which is my little tiny piece in this one. Just chain piecing them. Kind of find it a lot easier, saves on thread. And then we're going to grab the last 2, which face this direction. And this one's going to go on top. Just like this, line it up. And I'm going to sew to the end of this triangle that's underneath. I can kind of see it. Break thread, repeat. So I'm going to go towards, finger pressing towards my background fabric on everything. If you don't want to use your fingernails, again, use your little wooden tool or whatever you have. After a while, fingernails start hurting, honestly, when you do it that way. So these tools come in handy. So now I'm going to grab my other ones. So here's the other side for this. I don't know if it exists. I'm not sure, but this is what I thought about doing today. So this is what I'm doing. It was just on my head. So right now it's just called the Sew Sunday. Here's my other side of my other piece, which would be the center sashing. And then we're going to grab the other side of this, put it on there, line it up. Everything's nice and straight. Oops, needs to come down just a tad right there. I use my fingernails to adjust things. Come to the end, I just stop my stitching, no need to veer off or anything. And again, I'm going to press everything towards the background fabric. While I sit here, there's no need to go to the iron just yet. I'll just press it all and sew it together. But ironing is probably better if you want to just make all the units and then iron them. All right, so now I'm just going to finger press this one. All right. My next step is to hook this to this. So again, with my finger pressing, the seams are opposite. Everything's connected still, so I'm not going to lose anything. So now I'm just going to hold this. You can pin, like I said, in place. I'm just going to hold it, and I'm going to line it, keeping with my finger here as if it's a pin. Stopping with my needle down at that seam, and then I'm going to adjust the rest of it and hold my seam and then sew on down. And then that's going to get pressed back towards these fabrics. I keep grabbing my finger, using my finger, but it's starting to hurt. All right. So now this one is connected. I'm just going to throw that over like this. Again, nesting these seams. You can put your pin in it if you need to put a pin, but they line right up. I don't know how well that's in the camera because I can't tell. Everything lines right up. I'm just going to hold this nested seam right here with my finger. Slide this under. Using the knee lift actually really helps with all this. So you can use both hands. I stopped in my seam, gonna nest this next seam up, sew across, readjust, and continue on. Oops, that one didn't completely disconnect. And again, this one's going to get pressed back towards the JellyRoll fabric, just like that. So there's the block. I'm going to take this over and press it, and then we're going to cut one more time. I'm going to do this real quick just to. Why is that not doing it? Yep. So I'll be on screen in a second. Oh, I didn't even see that. I got to resew. You guys see that it got folded under when I wasn't paying attention? Stay right there for just a moment. I got to pick. I'm just going to pick it loose so that it can fold back. See? Get that little stitch right there. It's a piece on my machine that comes out from underneath that I can use my knee to lift it up. If you don't know and you've never seen it, we're at the Juki TL 2010Q. See this bar right here? This is a knee lift. Mine comes out. It looks like this. So my knee touches this bar. I'm going to leave it right in this position so you guys can see my beautiful legs and how this works. So my knee lift is in here. It sticks out under my desk right here so that when I go like this, you see my presser foot? It's great for your leg exercise. The only problem is it only works out one leg. So I just use the knee lift, lift it up, put your fabric underneath, and then sew, knee lift to pull away. So you guys can see my knee down there doing the work. If you looked at my tattoo, because my black pants are kind of hiding it. See, there was my tattoo. You can see I'm moving my leg. And you can see up here that the knee lift is lifting the presser foot. That's what a knee lift is. So this machine actually comes with a knee lift when you buy it. And you guys can find this machine on SewingMachinesPlus. It comes with a knee lift. All sorts of machines do, just letting you know. But the semi-industrials have the knee lifts. But I know Bernina and Janome and all those, they all have knee lifts as well. But that's what it is. Some of them are shaped differently, but that's what mine looks like. All right, so let me fix what I messed up real quick with the iron. I didn't mess that up with the iron. That was messed up with stitching. The iron is just ironing it all out. There we go. Nice and flat.
Shelly says, LOL, that's a good one, too.
What?
At least you'll have one leg in shape.
Yeah, right? I guess you could do one-legged squats to make up for it on the other side. That's funny. All right, so here's the block. We're going to retrim. We're going to trim this one the same as the last, and it's kind of hard for me to do on camera, but we're going to do it anyway. Grab your, if you have a 10-inch ruler, that's great. Here's my 12.5-inch Fiskars. Again, I'm gonna line this up so where I can see everything good for me. My 45-degree line's going along the center. It doesn't matter which way. The center is all ways. There's a center. That's what this line is. So I'm gonna lay this on here. I'm gonna center it by eye with this because my 4 3/4 mark is gonna go across this, and then my 4 3/4 mark is going to come this way across this, right there. So I want it there and up a little, there. As long as this is also center, and it's kind of a little tiny bit off. It's not gonna be 100% perfect. There we go, right there. I have to adjust it by hand here and there because, like I said, nothing's perfect. It's never perfect. No such thing as perfect. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and cut here and up here. Sorry, I'm blocking the camera. I'm probably wiggling my ruler too because of this awkward angle. Try not to cut in these awkward angles, seriously, because rulers don't stay the way they're supposed to. Now I'm gonna put my 9.5 inch line here and my 9.5 inch line down here. Just like this. And this is mostly center.
I grew up with a knee lift. I'm not happy with chasing the foot pedal.
Yeah. The knee lift only lifts the thing. I don't like having to reach behind the machine when you have only 2 hands, but you got to use both hands to sew something or hold something down, you know? Yeah, so none of these blocks are going to be exactly perfect, but there's another one. And we're going to be putting them together like this. So it's going to be like lattice running through them. They look like they're on point, but they're not. Only because of these strips. So it's going to be an illusion. So this is what we're making. And you could actually even between all this, and I don't know, I'll make up my mind when I get to it, but we can also sash each block too and put cornerstones with even more leftover pieces. Yeah, so we can put cornerstones with other pieces. Let me throw 2 more blocks together and see what it would look like. Is it? Let me throw 2 more together real super quick because I'm really super quick about this. We're going to go back to our regular position. Camera's moving, camera's moving. Camera is moving. Camera is now still. This is just me regular sewing now. My speed. Real quickly. Okay, we're going to cut 7 pieces off of 2 strips. And I'm going to make 2 more blocks quickly, quickly. 1 and 2. See how fast that was? We're going to take 4, 2. That's the same color. That's the same color. There's that doesn't matter, I guess. There we go. 3 and 4. There we go. 4 of those. And we're going to find one of these. We're going to cut off a piece of this. Right here. Little 1.5 inch square. Right there. Turn it around. We line it up. See, I'm just cutting my little squares as I go. So that's going to go there. We're going to cut a second one for the next block. All right.
Those are really cool blocks so far.
All right. All right, so here's my second block piece. I'm just going to throw 4 more of these here. 3 and come on. There's tons of them here. And 4. That'll work. Doesn't really matter. So these are going to go between, oops, right here, in front of my face. This.
Gal says your blocks are beautiful.
That.
I like
that. And there. Just like that. So I'm going to go ahead and sew 2 of these together real quick. Where's the other? There they are. I'm pretty quick about this. So I'm going to line up my bottom just like this. Chain piecing. So I need one of these now for here. Then my little cornerstone type deal. Line that up. And grab the bottom. And again, one of these, lining it up at the top this time instead of at the bottom. Stopping right at the edge. I'm also going to take the next one and do the same exact thing. That went flying, that's for the other one. We're gonna put these right sides together, sew it through. These two. All right, come all the way back to the top. Everything's just gonna get finger pressed. We're gonna add this to this. I'm going to put this one with one of these. I'm gonna finger press this back. Add this guy. So it'll be all mixed around. All right. So now I'm going to go ahead and grab this feller, line up the end just like this, making everything really flat. Those came from a subscriber who sent them to me from urbanalements.com. They have all sorts of different ones, like lots and lots and lots. All right, other side, adding it to. All right, now I'm only going to take my snips and snip apart the 2 blocks. Then I'm going to go ahead and finger press this back right here. Finger press this back right there. Finger press this. They're all going towards the background fabric. Again, I'm just going to put them right sides together. I'm going to line up my seam, and I'm just going to hold it with my finger. Hold it. Move that out of the way so I don't sew it funky. All right. These ones I'm going to press towards the colored fabrics. Put this side over. I have no idea. If they're 9.5-inch blocks, it's going to be a lap size quilt. It's only made with 1 JellyRoll. So far, I only cut 2 yards. I cut myself 2 yards. I gave myself a 2-yard allowance. I tend to do that, or else I'll use up all my fabric and have a humongous quilt that is not needed because I make way too many humongous quilts. So now I give myself an allowance. So just 2 yards. Because I don't know if I'm going to do sashing on these. We're going to see what it looks like. I kind of think I'm going to like it with more sashing. So we'll see right now. Let me just get these 2 more blocks together. You can press that, Scott. That way it gets it done faster. Oops. This is pressing towards background. Pressing towards the background. If you want to press from the back first, it might help keep the block nice and straight. Oops. Towards the background. My fingers are starting to hurt to finger press, so that's why this little tool comes in handy. All right, so again, I'm just gonna take this, put it over. I'm just gonna hold my seam. Having a knee lift really helps because I just lift it up using both hands. Just line it up and go. I always stop in the seam and make sure everything else is out of the way before I accidentally sew it. You don't want to do that, especially if you're chain piecing. I find chain piecing to not only save on thread, but it actually saves on time. I chain piece everything, and I chain iron, and then chain cut, and then chain piece, iron, cut, so on and so forth. Well, if you want an accent fabric, I would say just get a fat quarter. You know, for cornerstones, you're only cutting 1.5 inch cornerstones. So your background fabric, which is what I'm using this Age to Perfection, I just cut 2 yards. So I'm pretty sure I'll use quite a bit of the 2 yards though, because I still have more strips. I have tons of blocks to put together.
And Kim wants to know where you got the awesome wooden seam press.
The seam presses, T-Quilts can do these. So if you go to www.tquilts.com, she may be able to get some more in stock the more people that want to order them. So go ahead and go to her website. Again, www.tquilts.com. Scroll down under the things that she sells, and you will find that she has the wooden press. Not only the wooden press, but she also gets the seam ripper. So it looks like this, and it's either a seam ripper or stiletto combo. I don't ever really use the stiletto unless I really need to pay attention to something. So, but yeah, I always have my seam ripper just sticking out. Makes it easier for me. But she has those, all sorts of different colors. They make all sorts of stuff. So the more orders she gets, the bigger the order she can make. All right, Scotty, can you press that one while I cut this one?
Do you ever use the roller instead of the stick for finger pressing?
My daughter gave me the roller. I think the roller is better for pressing seams open. And I think that the other one is better for everything. Every kind of other pressing. All right, so I'm going to line.
And then Diana has accent fabric.
Okay, like I said, the fabric that I'm using as my background fabric, I cut 2 yards. You need a 42-piece jelly roll. And then that 2 yards, which I'm cutting into 1.5 inch strips. And then the accent is actually coming from leftovers of these. If you don't want to take your time and cut out all these little pieces into 1.5 inch squares, then you can go ahead and get 1 fat quarter to cut little 1.5 inch squares from, because you won't need a lot. It's a very small project. So if you want accents, a fat quarter will do, or 1/2 yard, if you want me to say it that way. But a fat quarter is better because you're not wasting anything. All right, so I'm gonna trim that. I'm gonna line this side up on my 9.5 inches on the bottom, and on the side, my 45 is pretty center. And then I'm gonna go ahead, cut and cut. And there is my 9.5 inch square. Let's go ahead and cut one more, and then I'm gonna lay them next to each other, and I'm gonna pretend that they have sashing, because I kind of think that I'm gonna like that.
Diane said woman's work is never done.
No. All right, so I'm again, I'm just gonna cut this. Yeah, cut this. I'm gonna turn this. I'm gonna cut this at 9.5. 9 and 1/2, right there, right there, right there. Okay, lined up. I talk to myself even when I'm not on camera. Just like this. All right. So now I have 4 blocks. I move all my little pieces out of the way. Move that out of the way. Move that out of the way. That out of the way. moving all this out of the way so that you guys can see what 4 blocks will look like. Now, I don't think I'm going to have enough for cornerstones if I sash the blocks. So we're going to pretend, instead of doing cornerstones, I could just cross over the blocks just like this. But if I wanted, yeah, I like that, I definitely like it like this. So if I want to put a cornerstone, I can grab a different color as an accent, like an actual fat quarter. Hold on 2 seconds, just to see. A color that's in here is like a pinkish color, probably. Probably be the best, right? Or green. This one might work. Yeah. So I could also have this right here. Imagine that as a cornerstone. Bam. For just these. All these would be different cornerstones, and then the cornerstones for just the sashing. I actually like that. It's, I don't know how they do it. I have no idea. I know, but
I've reported them. I've deleted them.
it's just going to keep coming back. They do that.
I don't know how they keep making
Yeah.
it back.
I don't know how they do either. All right. So that's what I'm going to do, guys. I'm going to use this fat quarter, and that's going to be for my sashing. So I have 2 yards for my sashing within the blocks. Then I'm using my scraps for this, but you can still use that same fat quarter or 1/2 yard of fabric if you want to just use a 1/2 yard to make sure you have enough, but I'm pretty sure fat quarter will do it because it's only 1.5 inch. I'm going to do 1.5 inch sashing, 1.5 inch cornerstones. That's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to go ahead and continue making blocks until there's no more blocks to make. I don't know how many because I did not do the math. This is not an actual pattern. This is me making things up as I go. So if I didn't put a cornerstone, yeah, I like the cornerstone. It kind of, yeah, yes, I know what lattice is. I like it with the cornerstone though, with or without it in the main part as well. Yeah, I like it with this. I'm going to do this. That's my thing. So if you want to do it exactly like me and you're watching this video as a replay, just know I'm making 9.5 inch blocks. We cut strip sets. I use 2 yards for my background color, and I'm not going to go over 2 yards. I just know it. And then I pulled out a fat quarter for this, and I'm using my scraps for my cornerstone, but that same fat quarter should be able to do all this because you'll get what, 99 or something or more, 1.5 inch squares. Yeah, I like it with the sashing. Just so you guys know what it looks like without. They would be connected like this. I mean, you can hook the blocks to blocks and not do that. It looks just fine like that too, but it kind of looks like I made squares and then put them on point. I actually think it looks better with the sashing. Plus it makes it bigger. And you guys know I'm all about making it as big as I can get it so that it's usable for a lap. Yep, that's what I'm doing. Well, this is what I envisioned in my head in the first place. So lots of cornerstones and so on and so forth. So that's what I'm going to do. All right. Well, now that my mind is made up and your guys' mind is made up with me, that's what we're going to do. So if you guys along or do this with me, by next week I will have this done. There's so many sew alongs going. These are all going to get all funky. Go ahead and take a 42-piece jelly roll. Sew 2 opposite colors together. No 2 same, just keep sewing them in sets of 2. And then cut them out on the diagonal like I did earlier. Oops, that got mixed in. And then save all your side pieces because we don't have to use all those diamonds that are left over. Those could go towards cornerstones as well. I do like this though for everything. But go ahead and cut them all into triangles on 45-degree triangles, and then we are sewing them together like this. Just follow the video if you're watching this as a replay. 2 yards of fabric and 1 fat quarter to go with our jelly roll. And then If I don't have enough or we run out, I'll let you guys know. But I think this will be plenty of fabric for a lap size quilt. So anyway, I'm glad you guys joined me for Sew Sunday. I'm going to go ahead and get off here and enjoy the rest of my night now that it's gotten late, and it's probably super late for some of you all. I think well, at one time there was 240 something, but all 233 of you that are here now, I'm glad you guys all hung out with me and Scott today in the quilting room. Don't forget to subscribe if you're new. Thanks for all those new first timers here. Don't forget to thumbs up, and I will see you guys next Sew Sunday. Don't forget Wednesdays, 25 patch block videos, as well as whatever else I upload through the week. So I'll see you guys. Thanks for watching. Bye.